Hi, my name is Mackenzie and I'm autistic, and this is my YouTube channel, Autistic Musings. I am a late diagnosed autistic. I was diagnosed when I was 23, and afterwards I decided to create this channel, Autistic Musings, to spread autism awareness, explain autistic terms, and to share my own experience as an autistic person. Now, today we'll be talking about autism awareness because it's Autism Awareness Month, and I thought I would talk about the most important issues that I think we should be discussing, not only during this month, but year-round. Hello. I'm back, you're back, and glad to see my returning viewers are coming back. I have over 200 subscribers. I'm still crazy to me. It's like having a whole lecture hall full of people watching you. But anyway, as you can see, I am very professional today. I wish I could say this was planned, but I did an interview today and I had my professional attire and everything done up. This background, though, is solely due to my ability to completely wreck my room. It's scary right now. So this lovely background is what I came up with to hide the crazy anyway. So important topics to discuss during Autism Awareness Month and year-round when considering the autistic population. I have three. Yes, three. I'm hoping to make that a thumbnail. Anyway, first and foremost is the disparity in diagnosis that many autistic people experience if they do not fit the, yes, I'm going to say media representation of what an autistic person looks like and acts like. Considering autism is such a, like, the manifestation of autism in an individual is so diverse. Nobody has a look. Every gender, every sex, every race, there's autism everywhere. I was diagnosed at 23, which is not unusual for an autistic woman. Very often we're diagnosed later. This could be due to multiple factors, but some of them may be because all the studies on autism are mainly, their subjects and their surveys are white males, and that doesn't leave a lot of room for autistic female representation within those studies, and we may present autism differently. There's also the fact there's a bias on all levels. So if you think about it, when I mentioned the media representation, the first thing you think of when you think of an autistic person, the average person will name a movie. And unfortunately, these are people that aren't autistic that are playing autistic people, which is confusing why they think of that person first. But anyway, immediately people think of children, so they don't think of adults, autistic adults. Often it's males, boys, and anybody that doesn't fit that category kind of gets all across the board. If you can talk, if you don't fit the stereotypical thing that people think of with autism, it's often that you can go undiagnosed, because the first people that noticed something off about kids are going to be parents, educators, doctors, not regular physicians, not psychologists necessarily. But these are the first people that notice and will eventually lead to a diagnosis process for a child. So it's really important that the average person and these people know what autism looks like and how it can present. So that's why autism awareness is so important. Number two, we went through number one, number two. This one's really important. So often there is a large population of the autistic community that is semi-verbal, non-verbal, non-speaking, non-vocal, can't use the mouth parts, or their mouth parts aren't particularly reliable. So why would you use them as your main communicator? This is important because often this segment of the autistic community is treated as incompetent, to put it mildly, lacking in intelligence, or somehow not being able to process what's going on around them, which are all false. Each individual experience can be different. There may be some type of processing difficulties, but across the board, when I hear autistic people that are nonverbal, that speak on the internet mostly, and that type of thing, they are very intelligent. That's not connected. The mouth parts are not connected to intelligence. It is not connected to what people are taking in. And this is proven not only in autism, but in other neurological conditions. People that are unable to interact necessarily or do communication the same way does not mean that they are not absorbing what's going on around them, that your behavior does not affect them, that they should not be treated with dignity and respect. And I put this out there because this is such a huge issue. Often this is a quote from what I've heard somebody say before, on a public forum, so I won't, it isn't like private or anything, but they were treated like furniture. People would talk in front of them as if they weren't even there. That is the main point there. Imagine somebody speaking about you as if you weren't there, as if you weren't human. This is an important subject to go over because often nonverbal people and all the other things that I said, when they do get communication devices or a way to communicate, they remember what happened. It's not like they don't remember that people that talked about them that way or that they were treated that way. That's the most important thing. Often, like I said, unintelligent, incompetent, that's the label or the stereotype that they'll get. Even psychologists that are diagnosing them are calling them low functioning, and giving them an IQ test when they are not given the tools to communicate. And basically they're saying they're stupid, but I'm like, you can't tell how intelligent or what's going on inside someone's head until you give them the ability to communicate, even if they aren't born with that ability. There are AAC devices that help many autistic people. There's sign language, there's nonverbal body language. There are multiple ways to communicate. And by ignoring these avenues and by putting more value in the ability to speak, we are doing a disservice to them and to the rest of the world by silencing them when they have a voice of their own, a story of their own. And I'm just dying to hear it. I think that's one thing that's very important. And I am very passionate about that issue and many of these others that I'll be mentioning. I have one last one that I'm going to bring up before the end of the video. Now, often I hear the phrases grow out of it, or people don't realize that adults can be autistic too. It's stereotypically classified as, and this is misinformation, people were told at one point that their children would grow out of autism. That's not true. It's the way our brain is set up. We're not going to grow out of it. We're going to learn coping skills. We're going to be given devices, support, services in order to help us, but we will never grow out of it. No, I will be autistic forever. That's why I got my diagnosis as an adult. I was having great difficulties with many things because The invisible disability never went away. I didn't grow out of it. And this is often how it's framed. And it is a huge disservice to the autistic community. And you can see this in the statistics in regards to our unemployment rate, to our mental health, to our life expectancy. All of this is lower than the average population. The mental health area, not good. Especially when you look up suicide rates and suicidal ideation and a lot of different other things that I won't get too deep into. But these three things show that we absolutely need support when we're adults. We cannot go without it, just like any other disabled person. We need supports, we need services. Yes, they are going to be in great variety because autistic people and our needs do differ from person to person, but they're needed. They're obviously needed from the data gathered, from the people that I hear, from all over, from parents and their adult children that do need services for life, but often programs like this can be cut off. Or they're expensive to pay for, and it's purely based on your financial income when it's not feasible for many people to pay that. Now, we are getting more attention, autistic adults, and I do think there will be services in the future. But all of these are so important. And I hope not only on Autism Awareness Month, but all year round that they get talked about and people hear more about them and just behaviors in general towards us and services change. Now, this was my very passionate rant today. I feel passionate about all of these issues, and I focused on them on my social media, and this is the focus of my video today. I hope I gave somebody out there some information and you've learned more, or you've had a desire to educate yourself more on the issue. I hope this made a difference. And I will see you guys next month on Autistic Musings.